Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is about to start a new season, and no one knows what she will run first. She has already ruled the hurdles and taken over the 400 meters. Now fans are watching closely. Will she stick with the 400, try the 200, or surprise everyone again when 2026 begins? Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone does not begin a season quietly anymore. Every decision she makes now carries weight. Every meet, every distance, every appearance signals something about the direction of her career. As 2026 approaches, the focus is no longer on whether she is the best athlete in the world. That question has already been answered. The focus now is how she plans to use that dominance. Reports across the athletics world point toward a likely season opener at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix in Boston. The meet is one of the premier stops on the World Athletics Indoor Tour and has become a traditional stage for the sport's biggest stars. While official entry lists are still pending, the alignment makes sense. New Balance is her sponsor. Boston is a showcase city for indoor track, and the timing allows her to ease into the season without rushing toward outdoor peak form. This is not just about where Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone races first. It is about what she chooses to race. That question has become far more interesting since her 2025 season rewrote expectations. For years, she was known as the undisputed queen of the 400-meter hurdles. She shattered world records. She dominated Olympic finals. She redefined what was thought physically possible in the event. But in 2025, she made a decision that shifted the entire landscape of women's track. She stepped away from the hurdles and committed fully to the flat 400 meters. The result was historic. At the World Championships in Tokyo, she won gold in the 400 meters with a championship record time of 47.78 seconds. It was not just fast, it was authoritative. She controlled the race from start to finish, showing strength through the final straight that separated her from a field of world-class competitors. The performance confirmed what many had suspected. She was not simply a hurdler who could sprint. She was one of the greatest 400-meter runners the sport had ever seen.
But Paulino's coming back. She's not beaten yet. This is so close. McLaughlin-Levrone for history. She's driving for the line, and she's done it!
That success opened doors. Once an athlete proves they can dominate a flat sprint at that level, the boundaries of what is possible begin to expand. Suddenly, conversation shifted. Could she run the 200 meters more seriously? Could she attempt doubles at major championships? Could she eventually return to hurdles while maintaining sprint supremacy? Sydney herself has not rushed to answer those questions publicly. Her approach has always been measured. She speaks about options rather than guarantees. She talks about listening to her body, trusting her coach, and choosing paths that allow for longevity. That mindset has guided her career from the beginning. Indoor season presents a unique opportunity in that regard. Indoor track is controlled. Shorter seasons, fewer races. It allows athletes to test ideas without the pressure of outdoor championship cycles. For Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, Boston could become a laboratory. If she lines up in the 400 meters indoors, it would reinforce her commitment to the event that crowned her world champion. Indoor 400s demand precision, tight turns, aggressive positioning, strength through congestion. It is a different test than the outdoor oval, but one that suits athletes with power and discipline. If she opts for the 200 meters, the implications could be even more intriguing. She has shown the raw speed to be competitive at the distance, but has rarely emphasized it in her career. An indoor 200 would not be about chasing records. It would be about sharpening top-end speed and refining race mechanics. It would also send a message that her future could include serious sprint doubles. The hurdles remain the quiet possibility. Indoor hurdles use a different distance and rhythm, and many athletes avoid them to reduce injury risk. But Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone has never been afraid of technical challenges. Even if she does not hurdle indoors, the event remains part of her identity. The idea of a future return continues to hover in the background. What makes this moment compelling is that there is no wrong choice. That is the privilege of dominance. She is not chasing qualification standards. She is not fighting for relevance. She is designing a career arc. The New Balance Indoor Grand Prix has a history of serving as a stage for bold statements. Past editions have featured world record attempts, surprise entries, and season-defining performances. If Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone steps onto that track, the atmosphere will shift instantly. The crowd will understand that they are witnessing an athlete who is shaping the sport in real time. Her relationship with New Balance adds another layer. Sponsorship is not just branding, it is alignment. New Balance has built its modern athletics identity around innovation and long-term athlete support. Sydney embodies that philosophy. Her presence at their flagship indoor event reinforces a partnership built on more than visibility. It reflects trust and shared vision. The broader context of women's track and field makes her choices even more significant. The 400 meters is experiencing a renaissance. Depth is improving. Rivalries are emerging. Athletes like Gabby Thomas have expressed interest in expanding their event range, including potential returns to the 400. Fans are beginning to imagine matchups that were once hypothetical. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone's sits at the center of that conversation. Her success has raised the standard. Others are adjusting their plans in response. When she moves, the field reacts. What has remained constant is her composure. She does not chase headlines. She does not promise outcomes. She lets preparation speak. That approach has allowed her to navigate pressure with remarkable calm. Boston could mark the first visible chapter of her 2026 story, not because of medals or times, but because of direction. The event she chooses will hint at priorities. The way she runs will hint at focus. The restraint she shows will hint at patience. There is also the question of how much she needs indoor competition at all. Many elite athletes skip indoor seasons entirely to preserve energy for outdoor championships. Sydney has the luxury to do the same. That makes any appearance intentional. If she does open her season in Boston, it will not be about obligation. It will be about purpose. Her 2025 season proved that reinvention does not require disruption. It requires clarity. By stepping into the flat 400, she did not abandon her past. She expanded it. The hurdles did not define her limits. They revealed her capacity. As 2026 unfolds, fans will continue to speculate. Coaches will analyze splits. Analysts will debate event choices. None of that will rush her. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone has always moved on her own timeline. From breaking records at a young age to reshaping her competitive focus at the height of her powers, she has shown that patience and ambition can coexist. The New Balance Indoor Grand Prix may simply be the first page, or it may be the signal of another evolution. Either way, it reminds the sport of something essential. Great athletes do not just compete, they choose. And right now, the most interesting thing about Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is not what she has already done, but what she has decided to explore next. As the indoor lights warm the Boston track and the season's first gun approaches, one truth is clear. When Sydney steps onto the runway of a new year, the direction of women's sprinting tends to follow. 2026 will not be defined by a single race, but it may be introduced by one.